Hi, welcome to StoryHive On Location, Penticton. I'm Robb, and we are live in Penticton with another incredible episode brought to you with support by TELUS STORYHIVE. Today we're sitting at La Familia Tattoo, and we are going to be speaking with Eric Vasquez, the incredibly talented tattoo artist who is opened the shop, he runs the shop, and he has a piece going on right now, and I'm extremely excited to dive into it and ask him some questions about his work. So, Eric, how are you doing, my friend?
Not too bad.
Thank you for having us and letting us dive into your artwork and your process of tattooing.
Yeah.
This will be great. You feel free to dive in. First questions are basically usually the same ones as who are you and where are you from?
Well, my name is Eric Vasquez, and I'm from El Salvador. I live here in Penticton, and I love it.
That's awesome. When did you start tattooing?
12 years ago.
Wow. So
Started 12 years ago.
12 years, that's
Yeah.
built quite a name and skill set in 12 years then, hey?
12 years. I started out of my house. Yeah.
Started in your house, hey? How was that experience?
It was hard. It was hard because I'm a self-taught artist. So it was, you learn to fail. You learn
And the piece that you're working on today is absolutely stunning. So are you finishing off that section of the forearm then, hey?
Yeah, we're just giving it a little touch up, bringing it up a little bit more, bringing it to life a little bit more, and yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. Well, you feel free to dive into it, and I'll keep asking questions.
Yeah, for sure.
And try not to distract you too much.
No, it's all good. Yeah.
Absolutely talented, and the skill set that he has is mind-blowing. So being self-taught, how difficult was it for you to, I guess as an artist, you're naturally going to be able to have a skill set that you built, but to push yourself to a level that is super realistic, how has that journey been to get to yourself where you're at now?
I think it's a lot of work. It's a lot of spending time trying to perfect your craft. That's the one thing. And, it's like you're always picking up little things wherever you see it on YouTube or you see it on TV or something. You see some type of art and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. You can maybe do some of that on your art. And so you're always trying to grab something, and your mind's always working. It doesn't stop. When when you have art in your mind, it's like just keeps going. But
art is a very beautiful thing. That's why I enjoy getting to speak with creatives, because everyone has a different style of art, first of all, but I find tattoo artists have one of the most intimidating and unforgiving art styles and forms of art that you could have. And
you get fired.
If you make a mistake, it's a hard one, right?
Fired,
and good tattoo artists are able to hide that, but that's the thing is like, to get to yourself to a level where you're at and you're putting on the skill that you have, you're bound to make mistakes to get there.
Yeah.
Right? And
unfortunately.
That can only allow you to become better, but at the end of the day, I can imagine that is a very intimidating thing when you're hopping into a process of a new piece.
Yeah, you get a little nervous sometimes, but you bring it back to your basics, what you learned and what your plan is. Always have a plan. You can't just run into there and just wing it. You always have to have okay, I have this map. This is my beginning and this is my end. I just got to follow the map and stick to what you know.
Yeah, fair enough. And the work you do too is very it's detail oriented because it is realistic. And I'm looking at the piece that your reference, and I'm watching you put it down on skin. And for me, it's one of my favorite art forms to watch, but it's also I don't fully understand how your brain can look at the image and see all the highlights and the lows and the shadows. And do you work with with photography at all? Did you ever?
You know what? I've always liked photography. I do like it. I don't do it for money or anything like that, but of course, when you're looking for references, it's all about the photo, right? If you have a great photo, your tattoo is going to be a great tattoo. So it's all about what your reference is. If it's the right reference, it'll make your clients will be happy, you'll be happy, and everyone who sees it. So, yeah.
It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
That's like a good way to say it too, is that if you have a good reference, because if you're given something that's terrible, you're not gonna be able to make it a masterpiece, right? Like,
yeah, and then you have to be honest too. That's the one thing I like to be. I like to actually. I'm very honest with my clients. I will express that I'm able to do something or I'm not able to do it. I wish I could do many different styles and many other things, but there's some things that I can't do, and and I have to be honest with them, and then that way they don't get no surprises at the end. They're not like, they look at the piece and say, "Oh man, why did you do that for?"
Yeah, fair enough. But I also think that you have one of the hardest, like you've mastered a skill that most people would try to achieve, is that realism, right? Most tattoo artists can't get to that level where they can take a person and put that person on skin, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's to see what you put out is mind blowing, because it's like I was saying to Ryan, is that I feel like the skill set that you guys have, it should be seen in like Vegas and like big giant cities for conventions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you travel for conventions?
I do. I've done the Toronto one. I've done the Vancouver, the Okanagan. Okanagan's always a lot of fun. Calgary. I've been to check it out. I got invited one time to the Pasadena one in California.
Oh wow!
COVID hit, so that was the end of that. Which is actually really exciting because I got invited as a guest kind of thing. So that was kind of cool, but it didn't go through. The whole COVID thing happened, but
that's sad.
That's how it goes, right? But yeah.
And you mentioned off camera that you mainly work with black and white, but you're starting to touch into color.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that just a new endeavor, or have you worked with color before in the past and just chose to stick to black and white?
It's sometimes you look at a piece and you're like, it's black and gray, and you love it, but sometimes you look at it and you're like, oh, what if it had like fire on the inside or something, or
a little bit of red.
So your brain, like that creativity part of your brain, right, is always like, what if? That's unfortunately, that's what happens with your creative mind. There's a lot of what ifs. I don't know.
It's true. It is very true.
Yeah. But
I will try to avoid asking questions while you've got the needle in.
Oh no, it's all good. No, do your thing. I'll stop. I'm sorry that
No, you're good. You're definitely. I understand the difference between being able to speak and being able to do the tattoo. It's kind of a big difference in the way you're working. So
yeah, sometimes it's sometimes you want to chat it up and stuff during tattoos, but sometimes you really you just have to focus. Sometimes you just gotta like especially with portraits and stuff.
Yes.
Portraits are something that you don't play with. The 1 millimeter off completely changes the face. So you got to make sure that you're on your game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't show up tired. Can't show up,
That's a valuable
something
thing.
else.
And I think that's the one thing people I don't think take into account is you have to be on your point as an artist, and as a tattoo artist you have to be even more on point.
Yeah.
Because it's not, you can't delete it, you can't erase it. You know what I mean? Like if you mess up, it's there.
Yeah.
And the only way to get over that is either adjusting, covering up, or fixing, and that's not something anybody wants to do.
No. And a lot of times I'll tell my clients it's a joke, but it's true, A tattoo's only forever.
Mm-hmm.
Only forever. But, yeah.
Over your years of being a tattoo artist, what has been the hardest thing to overcome? Like hardest skill set or challenge to overcome?
I think it's, as every artist, we are our biggest critics, and that I think that's the hardest one, because you're always thinking, I gotta get better at this, or I gotta figure this out. I don't know. I think that would be just making sure that you believe in yourself too, because like before I start a piece, like I have to believe in myself that I can pull it off, right? You can't just go into it thinking, oh, maybe we'll see what happens. That doesn't work. For me, it doesn't. So that's my biggest challenge, to make sure that I'm prepared and be on it. So.
And doing like shade work is not, there's so many different styles. Like for me, you have like traditional, which is what everyone starts with most of the time, right? You have that traditional old school tattoos.
Yeah.
And then eventually you find which route you want to dive into more. And I find that the realism is like the fine arts of tattoo. You know what I mean? Like that is the Mona Lisas and the masterpieces that will last forever.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that they're on people's skin. So only a handful of people ever get to see these beautiful pieces of artwork, because they travel.
Yeah.
They're not in a studio. So it's not like you get to like, it's such a weird aspect as a tattoo artist, because you're creating these beautiful pieces of work that are only ever going to be appreciated by the people who get to see the person who has it, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's like sometimes, like I mean, every piece though, like every piece that I put in, that I do, I make sure that I work my hardest on it. I give it my all. So when my client leaves, I gave it my all. Mm-hmm. I didn't cut corners. You know, and if I got tired, I just tell them, hey, you know what, we're gonna have to continue a different time, because for me, it's you give it your all, and hopefully, you know, that at the end, right, like people will appreciate it, right, that you worked hard for them. So, and you didn't get fired. That's the one that I
honestly don't think I could imagine you getting fired from a job with the skills that you have.
That's my goal.
Because it is like, I'm looking at the rest of the sleeve that you've done, and like the way it works, it flows so beautifully together. And I'm only seeing the top part of the arm. I'm not seeing like the under part of the sleeve as well, right? And
yeah,
I think it was a beautiful piece. I love the way that it's, there's many aspects to it. The flowers, the lion, the angel.
Yes, and
I think those are pearls.
Yeah, pearls.
Right? Like that is a beautiful piece. The way that you've managed to make it wrap around.
Yeah. And a lot of it too, you know, I think it's my client. She lets me do my thing too. Right. She comes in and she says, hey, you know what? I want an angel. I want a rose. And you figure out the rest.
Right.
Kind of thing, right? So then and then we start going back and forth, her and I, and we're like, hey, well, what if we did this? What if we did that? And then we just, at the end, we agree on it, both, kind of thing. And I always do like to explain to my clients what my plan is, so they're not surprised at the end. So they understand what we're doing and where we're going with it and what the outcome's going to be.
And that's one thing I think I appreciated about when we were speaking and setting up the interview, is you had mentioned picking something that I could potentially do. And then I chose, funny enough, I chose a Totoro because I'm obsessed with Studio Ghibli, which is not remotely in your wheelhouse, but I'm like, I might convince you to do a realism Totoro one day and
give
me
there
a
you
shoulder
go.
piece.
I actually looked it up. I was like, I wonder if that picture, like, how would I approach that?
Making it realist?
Know? Yeah, I've seen it where the people approach it, or, you know, it's just more about like every image that you get or idea that you get, you want to study it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like I look at the angel and be like, okay, that we're good. No, it's like I stare at it for a while. Mm-hmm. Stare at it and try to figure out, like, if your idea, right? I've been looking at it. Oh, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
I love the choice in that angel. Mainly for the wing positioning. Yeah. The way the front wing is curling around the front of the body and then comes down around the wrist is I don't think you could have chose a better position,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool to see.
Yeah, we always try to make it flow with the arm. Try to keep that in mind, and that's the goal, right? So it flows.
With gray work, how often do you have to do touch-ups as it fades?
You know what? That's something I think it's more of experience. With experience, you learn the skin, and then you know how dark you can go. When you don't have the experience, you're a little hesitant, and then you're not sure, and then you leave it. It's always better to come back and make it darker than to realize that you went too dark.
Okay.
Yeah. But now it's like I know what solid black is. The experience of years of doing it. It's like I know what's gonna be solid black, what's gonna be mediums, darks, and separate everything. And yeah, but sometimes you run into skin and certain skins that they're not gonna cooperate.
That's one thing that Ryan had mentioned to me, which really opened my eyes, being a tattoo fan, is that skin types. You have to understand skin and which pieces of the body work differently than others.
Yeah.
And each person has a different skin type and things like that. So understanding and how to maneuver through clients is a different skill set that most people aren't taught about.
Yes.
That's like the experience that you gain from making those mistakes, I guess.
Yeah, and sometimes I mean, one of the things that I learned is that if I give my clients the information that I know what can go wrong, then they will make a better choice for themselves to be happy. At the end, they'll make that choice where they're going to be, oh, you know what? I'm glad I went this direction, or or chose something that they are going to be happy with. But
I think it's a good way to go about it, is how you have this mutual relationship with what's best for the piece.
Yeah.
Versus just being like, this is my art, because there are some people out there who I found that can be like that, like, this is my piece.
Yeah.
It's going the way it's going, but to be able to navigate and change things, because sometimes pieces don't work where they're going, and that's another thing as a tattoo artist, is you've kind of sometimes got to be the voice of reason.
Yeah.
For something that can be super important to people, right? So
Yeah.
how do you go about navigating that and those experiences?
Well, I think one of the things that I learned at the very early stage in my career, a friend of mine, he was a tattoo artist, and he told me, and he said, he told me one thing. The first thing he said, I want you to remember one thing. One of the things he said, remember that you should be honored. That you're tattooing them, not the other way around. So that's one of the things that I really taken in and really held it close to me. That's like I remember that, because my clients really come here, and my clients are vulnerable sometimes to my decisions, right? So I have to make the right decision for them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because they could be taught the wrong thing, or something's going on and we're not making the right decision. So I got to make sure that I'm responsible for what I'm doing for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So
I really like the way you look at that. That you're honored being able to do the piece on them. I think that is a wicked way to go about it, because it is like the tattoos I carry are from my daughter's mom. And I will always have a pride in them.
Yeah.
Like I will always love them because they're my pieces, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Like your tattoo is your tattoo. No one else is going to have that.
Yeah.
And to have that connection with the person who's doing it is a very magical thing.
Yeah. And you know what else I learned too? That I learned that if it could be a sleeve, it could be from here to the top. It could be a full sleeve, and this means the world to my client. But if I did just a little line on somebody else because they asked me to do it, it's the same. It means the world to them. So it's just us as an artist, be responsible to that. Be and consider consider them and consider what we're doing is actually life lasting. So
it's a great way to look at it. It's almost a more spiritual journey than it is just sitting down and having a tattoo.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I think most people some people go in and get tattoos just to get a tattoo, especially when they're younger.
Yeah.
But they start to, I think the older you get, the more you realize, especially our generation,
Yeah.
there's something about acceptance of tattooing nowadays that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
You're almost weird if you don't have a tattoo now.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, isn't it? Like you actually look for people that don't have tattoos.
Yeah. I waited a long time. I waited until I was 30 till I got my first one.
Oh, yeah,
But that
yeah.
was just because that early 2000s stipulation of, oh, you got to make sure you're getting what you want from your parents, right? And funny enough, my first tattoo was something I didn't even care about getting.
Yeah.
It was a flash tattoo for a Halloween party. So
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
it's like those kind of the moments that you're like trained to, oh, you got to appreciate what you have. It's
Yeah.
probably one of my favorite tattoos, still to this day.
Well, I get some clients sometimes that they'll come in and they're like, man, I don't care what you put on me. I just give me an Eric tattoo. And I'm like, what? What do you want to do? What do you want? And they're like, oh, well, yeah, whatever you want to do. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to put statues all over you. And they're like, I don't like statues. And I'm like, okay, well, let's figure out what you like then. Or something, right? But
how does that feel to have people come to you and say, I want an Eric piece?
yeah.
Right? Like 12 years ago, do you think you'd be where you are today?
No. And I think it's a humbling experience for sure. And it all comes back to the same one, to the same rule, which is I appreciate them and I'm honored that they choose me. So that's how I see it. But
I wonder, like, I guarantee the feeling goes both ways.
yes.
Right? Like to have a piece of yours and carry that around is just as special as you being able to put the piece on somebody. And I think that's where I would love to see tattoo artists be almost more glorified than they are. Like tattoo artists in the last 15 years have blown up in the respect factor that they get.
Yeah.
And I hate to say where it comes from, but it does come from like the TV shows like Miami Ink and things like that, where people realize, wow, these guys there is a whole culture behind this. It's not just somebody in a tattoo parlor putting ink in somebody's skin.
Yeah.
And when you start to understand that there's a whole culture that is thousands of years old that nobody actually knows where it originated from,
Yeah.
it becomes kind of you being a part of that culture is a beautiful thing in the sense that you're creating what is going to be known as tattooing in the future.
Yeah.
And that's where I find it's entertaining to speak with creative people who are masters of their skill set and don't realize that they're the ones who are leading the current generation.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned that you have apprentice.
I do. Yeah.
When somebody comes to you and wants to apprentice, where do they start besides on obviously drawing, but like,
Yeah.
how do you get someone to start becoming a tattoo artist?
Well, the first thing I like to see where they're at, and it when I see their art, I can see if they put work into it or not, and then if I take them on, then what I want to see is, do they actually want this? Do they actually want to spend that time and put that work in? Because becoming a tattooer, sure, like people like you, people they want to hang out with you, people, they want to be your friend or something. But do you really are you really ready to sacrifice? Are you really ready to put all that time and effort into it? Because it's gonna take a lot, right? It doesn't come easy, right?
No, and that's one thing that I find a lot of my friends who decided they wanted to be tattoo artists.
Yeah.
As soon as it came down to the actual choice of, is this something that I want to do? And they realized how intense it actually is as a career and how hard it is on the body.
Yeah.
They didn't want to do it anymore.
No.
And that's one thing I don't think people realize is, like Ryan had mentioned when I was speaking with him, that he's getting closer to retiring now because it's really hard work on the body.
It's
like when you're constantly what is it, 5 pounds of pressure per inch off your neck off your body or something like that, right? Like,
oh, really? Yeah, I don't know.
your neck is.
I just know it hurts.
Yeah, right.
I just know it hurts.
It's kind of crazy to think about how taxing it is on the body, even though it's just tattooing, right?
Yeah, and I think that I know that people don't really see it, but or think of it like tattooers, but we have to actually like go out jogging. We have to strengthen our lower backs and our necks and do something, because when you're sitting like this for hours and hours, it's like an office job. You know, you're gonna get sore for sure. But
to this day, what has been one of your favorite pieces that you've got to do?
my favorite pieces, I think it's, you know what, I think it's this one over here in the back. I really like this one.
Oh wow!
It's really intricate.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I
There's
really
lots
like the
going
choice
on.
of what you got on your sleeve.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think you have a really cool concept going there.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even look at that and begin to how you started.
Yeah.
Like I'm a music visual person that way, but I can't like understand how someone can take a blank arm and turn it into a masterpiece.
Yeah.
For me, I just will never fully understand that concept of turning something from in your mind onto skin or paper. It will always fascinate me.
Yeah.
How long has this sleeve taken? How many sessions have you guys had?
We've definitely done over 20 hours, I would say.
20 hours, yeah.
Yeah, because I know I think the angel and the rose was 6.5. The line was 6.5.
Yeah.
I think the elbow was maybe 4.5. And then, yeah, a few other pieces were.
It's a beautiful tattoo.
But I think you two, you're yourself, you're like, hey, I want this sleeve done. Let's get this going. And I was good to, do once in a while here and there. She's like, no.
Get her done.
I'm here a couple weeks from now. And
That's
I'm like,
wicked.
oh, really? Okay. Yeah, no, she went hard on
Yeah, and you can see the elbow's done and your ditch. How was that?
Yeah.
I would say the one that didn't feel the greatest was,
The inside of the arm?
the bicep and then
Yep.
the elbow.
Yeah.
I think it's almost even just more the positions that you have to be in when you're getting tattooed.
Yep.
With my elbow, I had to be on my stomach, and your neck, you twisted, and
Yeah. I would think that like the elbow is, for my clients, is usually the one that hurts the most. I mean, if you're doing an arm piece, but yeah.
And that's the thing too, it's like because it's shade work, there's like, you get to a point where you actually have to like grind in a bunch of stuff for the shading as well too, hey? Because right now you're just darkening up small pieces, but when you go back in, you're going to be,
little things. Yeah.
you do some grinding on it,
Yeah.
right? And that's
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's like, I find that's my favorite time. It's the small pokes in between that drive me nuts.
Yeah. Well, I always tell people, because people are like, oh man, it doesn't feel that bad. We're good to go and all this and all that, right? But then you're like, 6-7 hours into it. Then you're like, oh shoot, yeah, maybe we should, But the thing is, for real, women are pretty tough.
They are.
They are pretty tough, and sometimes I'm like, okay, my neck is hurting. I think we should stop.
Yeah, and they're like, no, keep going.
Yeah, they're like, are you sure? Because I want to finish my episode,
Right.
or something. But yeah, I know. But women are pretty tough. They can really, they can really go. But,
No, now that I think about it, I've seen more females with their ditches done than I have seen my friends that are males with ditches done.
really?
Yeah, most of my friends don't have any of like their sleeves. They'll leave their ditch.
yeah.
They'll just like get something that gets close to it and leave it. And I'm just like, yeah, it's a intimidating location.
Yeah. And the elbow too is another one, right? Like the elbow, I was like, I'm never doing my elbow again. But yeah.
As a tattoo artist, do you have a hard time finding an artist that you want to tattoo you because you're a tattoo artist?
Not just because I'm a tattoo artist, but because my skin is dark. So because my skin is dark, tattooer has to know how to work with dark skin.
I guess that is an element that you wouldn't think about.
Yeah, so you have to know what shades to put in, because sometimes, I mean, when you're working on light skin, you can put all 4 shades, But when you're working on dark skin, you might have to skip one of those shades.
Yeah, like the lightest.
The lightest one or the
Yeah.
mid one or something. You have to adjust it to that, right?
And that's a
So-
skill set that takes years of knowledge itself too.
Yeah, you gotta, yeah.
It's mind-blowing to see how far tattooing has come in the past, I want to say 10, 15 years alone.
Yeah.
So I remember being 15, 16 and walking around seeing like level 13 and all the tattoo shops we had in here with like
Yeah.
Robb's across the street and things like that. And the tattoos that were going out then versus now, I don't even think they compare, honestly. Like I feel like tattoo artists nowadays are so much more skilled because they have this access to knowledge
Yeah,
and that they can like dive into specific styles that they want.
yeah.
Have you ever dove into other styles besides realism, just for?
Yeah, when I started with like, I did everything. I did from like infinity signs to everything, pause to
Okay.
everything that was coming in, because I was learning some of it too. Like, you know, like art, like if you know how to do a circle and a square and all that, they're pretty much the same in every tattoo. You just gotta find them in there and do it on there. But once you start, I don't know, finding what you really like and enjoy, it's like a drug. That's how I find it. Like, it's like I was telling you, like I was telling Sienna here earlier, I was like, you know, when I started doing my little squares or circles, and just the moment I did my first shade, I was hooked. I was like, oh yeah, that's what I like doing. So I started getting away from like the script part, because I really like doing shades, bringing things to life, and yeah.
It's funny because that's quite a common for the 3 realism tattoo artists I've talked to. That's a very common thing, is that they start off with different styles and all of a sudden realize that the shading and moving in between, creating this thing out of shades, is what they choose to love more than just taking an image and putting it on.
Yeah. And sometimes you just want to like change it up too. It's not always like, you know, sometimes it's not always like working on big pieces is great, but sometimes somebody will come in and bring me like a little flower with like a little something on the bottom, I don't know, and then you get it done and you get the little piece done and the little flower, and you're like, oh, I accomplished it, I finished it, it's done, we did it. You know, you get that feeling of accomplishment right there, right? So it's kind of cool to do those once in a while too.
As whereas sleeve, it's a long process, and you're always adding to it, because I'm sure you're going to want to add more to it eventually. You know what I mean? Like it's going to go down the shoulder, down the back.
She was
it's like,
just saying that
you just
today.
continue
She's
to
like,
it. It just continues, right? So, and that's where it's like, that's why I've always wanted to have one side that was like cartoon and one side that was realism, or a different style, and have different artists work on me, because I myself am like such a all over the place person that I feel like my artwork should represent me.
Yeah. Well, it's a story that you have, that it's written on you, right? It's your time frame, you know, like it's who you are. It represents you. So that's one thing about, like, you know, it's even some of my tattoos are not, maybe they're not the greatest tattoos, but I wouldn't trade them, because they were that time frame. They were that time and moment, you know, back in the days, and when I was younger and this and that. So it's like, I wouldn't trade them. They are who they are.
I've been in the metal industry for the last 7 years with my former band, and a lot of the band members within the metal industry are blacking out a lot of their tattoos nowadays.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And it's just a huge blackout movement within the heavy metal industry, and I'm like, I would never, no matter how bad my tattoo is, I don't think I would ever be willing to
do
black that out. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause it's just, I feel like I would be like turning my back on my past, and that's made me who I am today.
Yeah.
It's quite astonishing seeing how much it pops out with just the littlest
stuff
of fills, right?
Yeah. That's the thing too, like when you're doing tattoos, you're like, you look at it and you're like, what's hiding? Where is it hiding? The little shades. Because sometimes people will be like, oh, you do this piece a certain way, it's great, it looks great. But you know, when I do the piece, I'm actually looking for the shades that are hiding somewhere, the little small ones that are hiding, that really bring the piece out. So,
because you're going to look at the reference, but when you're putting it on the actual skin, some of those highlights and the shadows aren't going to actually work with the way that the skin's folding, right?
yeah, it's not. And then the skin, I mean, the body is not straight, so it's going to warp. So it's going to change your image. So that's where drawing comes in, right? That's where you have to know how to draw.
Yeah.
But
I think the older I get, the more I enjoy grayscale, because I've always been so drawn to like bright colors, and that's just become so popular lately that it's almost grayscale has become more fascinating to me now to watch.
Yeah.
Because it is, for me, it's more, I feel like it takes more skill set to do shading to put an image versus just putting the lines and the colors, if that makes any sense. Because you're not just taking, you're not putting like the thick, hard lines as if you were drawing.
Yeah.
Like some people, right? It's all different shade forms that are creating these images.
Yeah, and sometimes the whole image is actually made by shades. There is not one line in it. So you have to pay attention to all those shades to make sure that you got it, that you got that shade where it needs to be.
Yeah, that's mind-blowing to me. That people can see that in their head and visually put it down. I don't fully comprehend it, and that's why I love being able to sit with creative people as a job, because everybody thinks differently, everyone sees differently.
Yeah.
Especially in this industry.
Yeah, it depends where, I think sometimes it depends where people are too, mentally too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, like what they're feeling and stuff too. But yeah, no, it's
What size needle are you using right now?
right now we're just touching up little shades, so I'm using a bug pin 3.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a 3, I think it's an 8 gauge, so it's pretty small, but it helps me do tiny little shades here and there in little areas where it's tough to get into with a shader.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Tiny little shades here and there. Yeah. But I got a question for you, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you ever go check out the tattoo conventions?
I've performed at them many times.
Oh,
actually.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's awesome.
I love the tattoo conventions. They're the people that are there are absolutely incredible.
Yeah. That's one thing I like about the tattoo conventions. It's like, it's always positive. I really enjoyed that part, you know, like, I mean, sure, some people are too cool to be there, but it's always positive. It's like, you just have a blast.
Yep.
It drains you out.
The Kelowna one's really funny.
Yeah, it's
Because
great.
they have those, I don't know if they have it at the Penticton one. I haven't been to the Penticton one, but the, where you put like $2 in and you spin and you get a tattoo.
Oh, really?
And they do like a ball and that's the tattoo you get. Yeah, like a wheel, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
That's so risky.
Yeah, yeah, you never know what you're gonna get.
No, that would go on the leg for sure. Excuse me. It's so fascinating watching the pieces come together. Are you a tattoo artist who is for numbing or against numbing?
I'm against numbing.
A true tattoo artist.
What's that?
I said a true tattoo artist.
Yeah. Well, I'm not against it because of the, you know, how people are like, oh, you know, if you're going to get a tattoo, it's got to hurt. It's not about that.
No.
It actually, for me, it backfires on the skin. So if I'm doing a piece that's, you know, 6-7 hours and the skin decides to, you know, because numbing numbs out your skin and stuff. But
Yeah.
once it comes out of there, once it's done, it tightens up. So when it tightens up, I'm trying to tattoo it, so it's tougher to get into the skin. It's tougher for me to put a soft shade, like a very soft shade. And I just want like 10%. I just want it to look like pearl in there. I don't need it to be, 60%. But I can't do it because now the skin is like a
So
football.
tight. Yeah.
So it backfires on me.
Okay.
So that's why I don't, I'm not too fond of it. But if you're gonna do a small little tiny little piece and it's gonna take an hour or something like that, then it'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I find that the feeling of a tattoo isn't very necessarily painful. And I love when you're younger and you never have one and you're always like, oh, what's it like to get a tattoo?
yeah.
And then people are always trying to describe it.
Describe it.
And
yeah.
they can't. And I feel like the only way you can describe it is a cat scratch on a sunburn.
Yes.
That's the easiest way to do it.
Or bee stings.
Yeah.
Bee stings a little bit. But I think it also, it comes down to what type of, like if you ask, does it hurt? It comes down to who you ask.
Yes.
Because that depends if that person went to a tattooer who was a tattooer or a butcher.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
I don't know what else. Because some of them, they, some tattooers, they don't care. And they'll make you bleed. They'll really make you pay for it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's
That's
like
a
you were
negative
saying with
thing to
different
say,
skins,
but
right?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I shouldn't say that.
That's what thing that comes around with different skin factors too. Is some people will bleed quicker than others, and certain spots will bleed quicker than others.
Yes, yeah. And in some areas too, is like this. I mean, no matter what, it's gonna really irritate the skin. It's people are really gonna feel it. So, but
Have you ever had a chance to go back home and do tattooing?
no, but I would like to do that. It's one of my goals.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, I think tattooing where I'm from El Salvador, so tattooing is a bit of a taboo.
Oh, is it?
But it's changing now, because back then tattoos were only for gang members.
Oh, okay.
But now you're starting to see, individuals walking around with flowers and pieces that they really like, art.
I never even thought of about that.
Yeah. 'Cause-
That would be an issue,
yeah.
but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Now it's more art, but it's coming around. It's starting to where you can. I know they have a tattoo convention there in March, so I've been trying to figure out if maybe one day I'll go and do that.
I have this weird feeling, like gut feeling, that you're going to be called down to be like the main artist that they show.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he left, he came back, and look how good he is. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like-
man, that's awesome. Yeah. No, and it'd be cool just to go down there and, and represent that you're from El Salvador and you're doing something positive with tattooing instead of something negative, right?
Yeah, and I think that's like, yeah, especially with the outlook on it down there. How
Yeah.
it was kind of a, like you said, taboo,
Yeah.
and now it's becoming this expression, which is nice, because that's one thing that you don't see in a lot of the South American countries.
Yeah.
Is that ability to be completely who they want to be at
Yeah.
all times, which is kind of like being a tattoo artist and getting to go back would be such a cool thing to do, because then you can just like, this is my artwork, and leave a piece there for somebody.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be such a cool thing to do.
Yeah, and to be a positive thing, right? It's yeah.
I can imagine
Maybe.
that's it's got a deep meaning behind it, right?
Yeah, for sure. like-
Something that most North American tattoo artists might take for granted is the difference in culture. And coming from a different culture to here, you might appreciate things differently than most.
Yeah, it's yeah. Sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say.
No worries. You're focused. I see you're focused.
Sorry.
Like my family's from Indonesia, and like they have that tribalism tattoos and stuff there.
Yeah,
and I've
yeah.
always wondered what it'd be like to go back and see what the culture has and get a piece done that's culturally done.
Yeah, yeah.
Like instead of going and just getting random tattoos, I would love to do something that was like culturally acceptable from one of the sides of my family.
Yeah.
Because the Irish, like it's Irish, Dutch, and Bavarian. So the only cool one really there is Indonesian. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I would love to embrace that and see what kind of art comes out of there.
Yeah, yeah,
And see what kind of art, like tattooing comes out of Indonesia.
yeah.
Because I have friends who have gone to Thailand and gotten tattoos. And you see the difference in, I don't want to say penmanship, but that's kind of what it is. The penmanship from different places in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, the cultures, right? You can really express who you are, and I don't know. Sometimes tattoos, they bring you closer to your culture yourself if you go and get a piece done. Like as a simple thing, I know it's a very simple thing. It's not a tattoo, but like even my earrings, you know, because of my culture, I wear my earrings, but when I have them, I feel closer to my culture. But you know, I'm Mayan, so it brings me closer to that.
Well, that's beautiful, right?
But I think it'd be cool if you got a piece like that.
Yeah, I would love to get an Indonesian piece. I think it'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Just because I don't even know what technically their art is. You know, like I've never actually done the full research to dive into what their style of artwork is. So it's kind of cool to see that, like in Japan, for example, when I was talking with Ryan, he was talking about if you don't understand the history of tattooing, you're not going to understand that the red dye in Yakuza tattoos is extremely poisonous. And if you see a person with a ton of red that's Yakuza tattooed, it's like they went through a whole process of being sick after, right? Like,
yeah. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't even know that part.
yeah, so like weird things like that we don't really take into consideration because like they've got the full bodies done, right?
Yeah.
So if you see a Japanese member with like tons of red on them, you know they went through hell, kind of a thing.
Dude.
As we're like, we don't have that in North America, so we don't fully understand the culture that is behind Japanese tattooing versus North American tattooing, and like every place has their own style and form.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to like eventually understand the cultures behind them all.
Yeah. Sorry, that beeping, is that me?
Might be.
Sorry, we can turn it off.
Oh, you're good. When
Can I?
you're initially starting a piece,
Can you give
and
me
you're
1 second? Sorry.
oh
Sorry. Is it okay if we just take one second?
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm just gonna take a small second for. I'm starting to sweat for some reason.
Oh yeah, no, you're good.
I would turn on the AC. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, sorry, I don't mean
We'll
to cut.
dive into look at the reference piece.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get a little good shot of that because we got about 10 minutes left. So
I don't know why it just started warming up. Was that my phone?
No, I was seeing it was returning.
Oh, her.
the reference piece
Yours.
compared to the actual tattoo is so different.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I started to sweat, and I didn't want you guys to get me all sweaty. Sorry.
No, you're good. It's such a beautiful piece. I love the concept behind it. And it's quite amazing, realistically, how you said you're about 20 hours in? That's insane. That's insane. Because it feels like it's way more than 20 hours. So you work quite quickly, which is nuts.
I would say that I work a little slow.
Really?
I think so.
Oh man, I
'Cause
feel like
it's-
20 hours for an entire sleeve is relatively quick.
Because the detail it takes longer when you're doing something with a lot of detail, because you really got to put all that detail in.
Like even the face on the angel. Like the details that you have in that. I don't know a lot of people who can draw, let alone put that on skin. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, so for me, it absolutely astonishes me at how some people can just take a needle, some ink, and create beautiful pieces of work that are just like, when, like, if you could one day, like, that could have been, you could take that off and put it on a wall. It would be forever loved. You know what I mean? Like, and that's where it's like, I love tattoos because that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen. That's going with you into the grave, right? Like, that is a cool thing, and only lasts for. This is where I love and hate tattoos, because tattoos can only last for 100 years max, depending on person's lifestyle, right? So that's where it's like, tattoo artists are some of the most talented people on the planet, but they're not ever going to be able to, like, their memory and their work is never going to last like Da Vinci or like Picasso. And it's like, that's what, it almost hurts my soul.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it should be. Because, like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Just embrace it while it's there. And that's where it's like, you being the artist, everyone has a little piece of you. So you get to go with all these people.
Yeah.
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 And you're documenting it? Yeah.
You keep little pictures for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's quite astonishing how, watching even just what you've put in.
Just gonna get a drink of water real quick, sorry.
See, I love it. I love everything about tattoos. They're such cool concepts. And I, like we were talking with Ryan before, is like, we have no clue where they actually started. I don't think anybody actually has a date of when tattoos started, or which culture
it's
created
the
them.
very beginning, isn't it?
Because I guarantee we had them in Mesopotamia,
Yeah.
but to, like, who was the first person to be like, no, I'm gonna draw on my skin permanently.
Yeah. Or in our culture, it's it was a big thing. You wrote on yourself what you were and who you were, and what you can do. That's one of the things that we did as Mayan people. That it was big in our culture.
Because that's where I was slightly confused, because it went from Mayan times where tattoos were like, this is our warriors. We are, you see us, you see us for who we are, to being like, oh, it's taboo, to being like, it's coming back, to being accepted. So it's kind of like, for me, I'm like, being from North America, I don't put myself in that perspective of like, oh, it was widely accepted, and all of a sudden the gang culture could have ruined it.
Yeah.
And like, that is something I don't think a lot of people would put into perspective.
Yeah.
Right? Because like, even here, tattoos were taboo up until like 20 years ago because of gang culture. Because it's like,
then you've
So how do you like navigate that? And I think that's where it's like what you're doing, where you're taking it, and making it art, and something beautiful is where it's like, when you get down there, people are gonna be like, man, where's Eric been all these years? It's so good. So it's for me, like, that perspective just completely changed my view on tattooing. And it's just something like that. That's so minimal out of a conversation. That's just like, my whole perspective has changed on tattoos.
Yeah.
Just for looking at other cultures and regions and their tattoos.
Yeah. Yeah, I love seeing all different types of cultures and their styles and how they approach things. And I love it the most when a tattoo really represents who the person is and what their culture is and who they are. Right? Like, it's and you wear it with pride. You wear your tattoos, not to impress anybody. You wear it to to show yourself, not other people. To show yourself and remind yourself, this is who I am. This is me in this world, and this is the way I'm going to be, and who I am. But
I love that. I love that concept, that the mentality behind the way you do that. Sorry. If you were to give any advice to an aspiring artist who wanted to start a career becoming a tattoo artist, but didn't know exactly how to start, because that's probably the most difficult thing for emerging artists, is how to start and where to go. What advice would you give them?
My advice to them, or whoever wanted to be a tattoo artist, is it's there for the taking. It's there, you just gotta find it. It's gonna be hard to find it, but it's there. And if you want it bad enough, you can take it. Like I said, it's there for the taking. And from there on, it's really your responsibility, and from there on, it's like you do what you want to do and you enjoy it. I love my job. I truly, I tell my apprentice, I love it. I love coming to the shop. I thought that one of the things that I thought that was gonna it was gonna maybe be boring would be setting up and stuff. And it's not, because it's like setting up is like almost like a gameplay. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. This is what I need, this is what I don't need. It's like your brain is working. It's already, it's like you're on a game, you know, in some type of sport, and you're preparing mentally for this piece, right? So, yeah, but I love it. But yeah, that's my advice.
I love it, because that's, I think, it's the hardest thing is, especially being as a tattoo artist, like it is an intimidating art form to pick up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're gonna fail at some points, and you're gonna want to quit. There's many times that I wanted to quit, and then many times that I was like, I told my wife, I said, "Girl, I don't even want to look at another tattoo magazine. I don't want to hear nothing about tattoos. I just want to quit." And then I think the hard part was when she said, "Well, you do what you got to do," and and of course it was always like, no, I gotta keep going. I gotta make this happen. It's a do or die for me. That's how I saw it.
I love it.
Bit extreme, but that's where you gotta put that work in. Yeah.
And you recently moved from Summerland to Penticton, like the shop, correct?
The shop, yeah, we moved it from Summerland to here. Yeah.
How has that experience been?
Yeah, I mean, we got a great place here. I really do like this place.
There's a
It's
beautiful
comfy.
location.
Yeah, and then one thing I do like, it's also like, one thing I do like about my shop is that when a client comes in, it's just my client and I.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my apprentice may be here hanging out, with us, but but it's you create your own atmosphere. My client creates their own atmosphere. They can watch whatever they want to watch or do what they want to do, kind of thing. But I'm in my own world, right, doing my own thing. Most of the time, I'm chatting it up with them.
Because it's just you and your apprentice here.
Yeah.
You don't have any other tattoo
No
artists?
other artists.
I love that.
It's usually like one-on-one, right? Like, and I like that because you get to know your clients and you spend time with them, and I do enjoy that. Yeah.
I kind of almost enjoy that more too, versus like the multiple artists in one shop.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I always felt really awkward walking into like multiple shops with multiple artists, because you're like almost trying to find the artist you want to work with, and everyone's kind of like jumping at you because they want the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, it's for me, finding a tattoo artist that I've always wanted to work with was a hard thing.
Yeah.
Because I have a really weird taste in tattoos.
Yeah.
Like not normal, not like they're like very cartoony, and I like that.
Yeah.
But the older I get and the more I see the skill sets that people have,
Yeah.
I want to dive into different forms on my other half of my body.
Different style, yeah.
And like go cultures, like different cultures, and have like a tattoo from Thailand, a tattoo from Japan, and like kind of do all these things, because I think that'd be a really unique form of sleeve to have.
Yeah.
Like a tattoo passport.
Yeah, tattoo passport. Well said, Amy.
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. Because I mean,
Give
at
us
the end of the day, right? It's
show
yours.
us your passport.
Yeah, show us passport. It's just like,
Yeah.
no, because tattooing is a beautiful thing, and I think that I'm beyond thankful that it's becoming so accepted, and that our generation, the 40s down, are completely just covered in tattoos to the point where like in the next 10 years, our politicians are all going to have sleeves and face tattoos.
I think so.
And,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's just going to be the norm, right?
It's yeah. And sometimes even clients will come in too, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not sure, I'm not sure if I want, or I'm a bit nervous about showing my tattoo or this or that." But sometimes my advice to them is like, man, if they don't judge you for your tattoos, they're gonna judge you for your shoelaces. They're just looking for an excuse to judge you.
That's true.
Hey, forget them, man. It's just do your thing and enjoy it.
Where can people find you if they want to have your work put on them? What's the easiest way to contact you or get a hold of you?
I would say that my email, pentictontattoos@gmail.com. And I always tell people to take a look at my Instagram. I think it's at Familia Tattoos. If you check out my Instagram, you get a pretty good view, I think, of what the style that I do. Right. So yeah. But yeah.
I want to thank you for your time. I won't shake your hand because I know you're perfect because you're all strapped up and I know how it's difficult to sanitize. So
Yeah.
I want to thank you for your time, your story, and both of you allowing us to watch the process, especially on you because it is your arm. And it's an honor to see you work.
Oh, thanks.
And like, even if it's a small portion of it,
Yeah.
watching it and getting to speak to you while you do it is a beautiful thing. So I want to thank you.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us.
No worries. Do it anytime.
Yeah, awesome.
And we will catch you guys next time. There will be a QR code at the bottom of the screen that you can scan, and it'll take you to a form to fill out that you can fill out, and I will be in contact with you. From everyone at Story Hive on location, I'm Robb O'Day, and we will catch you guys next time.